Hey guys, let me know if the audio is okay. I haven't touched this system in a couple weeks, and who knows what walked all over the console and changed a whole bunch of things. But let me know if the audio is all right. I know that sometimes I start off with those I start off with some rough audio. I know that. Check 1, 2, 3. You know what? Let's just kick this into gear. I want to get this. I feel like this live stream is going to take a little bit of marinating to get people in here, right? So why don't we shut off this thing, bada bing, and how about we do a little bit of this. Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to the event space. My name is Seth Miranda. I think over here should be some social of some type. If you're watching this, you probably know who I am. If you're watching this on playback, welcome to Adorama Events. Make sure you hit subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the live streams that happen from the event space here at 42 West 18th Street. There's a bunch of stuff coming up for this month. Now that I am done jumping around all over the place for videos and trade shows and all sorts of stuff, new gear releases, I mean, everywhere. We're going to focus on getting you guys a bunch of demos and content out of here, including tomorrow. Tony Gale will be right here, Sony ambassador, who is all going to be showing you, I think, about portraits with speed lights, like portraits with small strobe. So hopefully you guys can tune in for that. And on Wednesday, Coffee Creators is back. So on the main channel, 11 a.m. Eastern, you can join me and a really awesome filmmaker. So we're going to get into that. Actually, it's the first time I'm meeting him, so it should be pretty cool. And of course, Thursday, we got the one and only Daniel Norton and myself will be right here doing a live demo like we've been doing for like 15 years. So before we get going on anything, let me say what's going on, Kathy Brown. Hope you're doing well. I know you missed out on Shutterfest this year. I just came back from it. Hope you're well. I know you're going through some stuff. Just so you know, we're thinking about you over here, and I hope you know that you always got support in the Discord and right here on this channel. Okay, Heidi, what's going on? Been a while. Tony, Lucas, Joe's Photography. That is the most generic name I've ever heard, sir. What are you doing here? Rick, how we doing? Winnipeg, Canada. All right. Brazil's in the house. Wisconsin. Oh man, the exotic land of Wisconsin. Hope you guys are well. So I didn't have any plan. I just knew that this channel went a little cold because I haven't been here, and I wanted to, liven the place up. Of course, the one and only Quinn is here. Let's give a round of I don't know. Can you do emojis yeah, do a bunch of emojis for Quinn. Got her out for this. We might not even shoot with her. I don't know. I just wanted to make sure that I got some sort of lighting, some sort of camera, and we can do something if you guys want to get into it, if you're having trouble with anything. But there's been a lot of crazy stuff, right? We just came back from NAB in Vegas. That was a couple weeks ago. You could check our coverage out on NAB on the new Adorama Cinema channel. So we're trying to segment the more specific content for you guys, if you haven't noticed. So all you guys that complain about microphone and videos because you're a stills photographer, now you don't got to worry about that. That's on the cinema channel. Live events right here, so we're not cannibalizing the main channel with a ton of live demos. You can be sure that this channel right here, you're going to want to have the notifications on because we're going to go live usually around 5 o'clock during the week, but right now it's noon here in New York, so it is what it is. Vagar, been a while. How are you? Hey, y'all, I'm having a beer on my first hour of vacation, flying back to Norway tomorrow. Spend 12 days with my dad. Well, we hope you have a great vacation, man, all right? So if there's anything you guys want to get into, if there's anything you heard about, new gear, techniques, things that are going on in the industry, whatever you guys want to get into, let's talk about it. That's what this is all about. This is for basically, I tried to create this as a destination point that you can always come to. I know a lot of us shoot by ourselves. We're isolated. We don't have really a community. This is your community. I'm building it for us. So, yes, Kurt, how you been, man? Really cool to see you in St. Louis. What was that, like a couple days ago, maybe? Brad, been a while. How are you? I feel like everybody's just yelling in the store right when I go live. I don't know if you can hear any of that, but it's just like super loud for no reason because they're literally 4 inches from each other. But this is New York, and that's what we do. The Nikon Z F1, you were right, so fun. The Nikon ZF not only is fun, but it just got a 2.0 firmware update. If you have that camera, you're going to want to update that thing. It's got a bunch of new features in it. They got a new method of doing auto ISO, a whole bunch of stuff. Make sure you update that Nikon ZF, and congratulations on winning that. It's awesome. I hope you enjoy. What lens did you get with the ZF? Let me know. The cinematic lighting, yeah. Were you in my class? Were you in my my Shutterfest class for that? So this past week I was in St. Louis. I missed Shutterfest in 24 because I actually woke up to COVID the day of my flight. So I had the flight credit. They accepted me as a speaker again for 25. Thank you, Alyssa and Sal. And I bounced into St. Louis and I did whatever I could to help you guys out, including not just 3 classes, but I tried to do a photo critique so we could look at some of you guys' work. I think it's important that you don't just keep shooting like crazy without having some insight or a destination or your head refining what you're doing with those hands. But I also walked around as much as I could and tried to jump into people's setups and kind of help you guys out, which, you know, helps me out as much as it helps you out because it keeps me sharp. It's like, what is this crazy situation we're in? What are you trying to achieve? What tools do you have at your disposal? Let's see what we can make happen. And that kind of really helps me out, you know. So hopefully if you're in this chat and I helped you out at Shutterfest, hopefully I did actually help you out, you know. You got the 40mm f2 with that ZF. That's pretty cool. The 40mm, just so you know, in my opinion, there can be a little bit of a color shift to it. It is a like less than $200 lens. So if you're doing anything with like very, very refined color accuracy, you might want to take a look at what you're getting out of that lens sometimes, not all the time. I haven't nailed down what's going on with that lens yet, but it is a fun focal length. It is a fun look. It has a very soft feel to it, wide open. That's very dreamlike. It's very cool. Heard good things about the critique you did. Yeah, you know, I got to tell you, one of the things that kind of got me a little bent out was I only have 4 people submit images to that critique. Then I had a couple more people who decided to hang out, submit. But people did come and hang out, which is important too, because just hearing about other people's images while seeing those images can help as well. I really was expecting people to be like, hey, I've been coming to this show for like a decade, but I haven't really done anything but throw my work on Facebook, and everyone just says, wow. You know, having a little more insight from people that have been through things, I think is important. So, you know, I hopefully, and I told those people at the critique, listen, don't stop it here. Maybe you guys can make a group where you guys have a Zoom call once a month and you share work, and maybe you guys look forward to that Zoom call and you shoot for that purpose. Like you aim, that's your poker night. It's like Fight Club, right? It becomes the reason you clip your nails. You know, the reason you go and book that shoot is because you want to go show it to the next critique. So I think it's important that we all build our little communities and we kind of stay tight like that. And that's just my thing. That AVP, so this Alien versus Predator shirt, this is Alien Vitruvian Predator, and I am so amped on the Badlands trail that came out. I have a few issues with it, mainly the lighting. We're not gonna get into that. I know people have issues with the way the Predator looks. I think it's a pretty cool design because he's supposed to look very juvenile. I think it's cool that he has his hair in the middle. Maybe they recede as they get older. He has the broken tooth, which could mean a whole bunch of things. If you know about Predator lore, it could mean that he's Tusk. We don't know. If you guys know who Tusk is, I'm not going to get this. I know some of you hate when I jump down a nerd rabbit hole, so we're not going to do that. But if you don't know Predator, shame on you. And if you don't know Stan Winston, who designed Predator, shame on you. Stan Winston is amazing, and I wish he was still with us. Tony Pag says, Seth, I tried recommended for white balance setting 5000K in the studio. Excellent results. What white balance setting do you use with the A10 on camera? I stick to the same 5000. Any speed light with a Fresnel that's not a lens like this. These are frosted lenses, and they're different, right? This is why the A2 shoots just like a B10X Plus and bigger lights. Similar lens, tube, all that kind of stuff. A speed light has a thinner, different lens called a Fresnel, and it could look a little cooler. What I find though is with the Profoto A10, it's not nearly as drastic, if at all, with some other strobes out there. So I just keep it at 5000, no problem. I lost my mouse. Hold on, guys. Well, you guys are going for it today. By the way, don't forget to like. It helps out this video. I really want to get this channel some momentum. I really want to get these streams some momentum. I want these streams to have hundreds of people in them, so we get a lot of different viewpoints and questions and discussions going on. And I really hope that this channel can start getting some nitrous in it, because boy, I'll tell you, this event space has been around for over a year, and I'd really like to, you know, get some live streams, some love, because the more we grow this, the more the people that do come here to do classes feel like it's worthwhile, right? So don't forget that. You guys are helping grow this channel, everything. Yeah, Kathy, Badlands is gonna be awesome. I can't wait. And there's another Predator thing coming out. It's like I can't remember. I'm a bad nerd. So Joe McGinnis is saying, hey, Seth, question. Does it matter if the metal deflector in a softbox is convex or concave toward the light? Do you even need to use the deflector? Do you use them? So truth be told, a lot of softboxes don't have deflectors because they're not designed to be as such. A deflector, let me get a beauty dish really quick. So a deflector is one of these things you find in, what I find mainly in budget softboxes, because it's one of these things that people go, oh, what an awesome add-on. So if you wanted to rip the diffusion out of there, you could have sort of a pseudo beauty dishy kind of thing. This is a traditional beauty dish. There are many like it, but this one is mine. This is a Pro Photo one, obviously. And that's a deflector plate. And it's a plate because it's flat. A dish, right, is convex or concave, right? Typically for me, you want it to be this way inside, because you want it to hit, bowl around, and then hit into the silver. So you never, I'm not really a big fan of people putting it the other way. And what is it for? Mainly to take away the hottest spot of the light. So if you are ripping off that diffusion and you just have a raw light, it's helpful to have it in there. But if you're pulling out a softbox, like a 4-foot octa or whatever, odds are you want a 4-foot light, and you're gonna need the diffusion to be for, you know, whatever size. I have a 3-foot one right here, right? So think of it this way. I can't rip the diffuser out of this one, but this is a 3-foot box. If I took away this diffusion, the light source is just kind of like coming at you. There's nothing that's transcending to make the light physically bigger. If there's a plate in there, what's up, John? If there's a plate in there, it'll hit that plate, go back into the light, and then come back a little more broken up. So it's not a hot spot in the middle, and you have more of a chance of using the whole reflector. But in my opinion, is if I was gonna pull out something like this, I'm pulling out because I want something like this size. And if you put just the plate in there, it doesn't hit a diffusion, and then the diffusion isn't there to make it three or 4 feet. Now you're gonna say, well, what if I put the plate in there, or the dish in there, and then I put the diffusion over that? Well, all you're doing is taking out the hot spot in the middle, which might create an uneven light towards the center, and you might even want that. You guys saw me use edge mask in here, which blocks out the majority of the center of a box, but it's not gonna do anything close to what edge mask does. So for me, I would put it like, I wish I should have one. Actually, maybe I have one here. Hang on a second. Nope. The other thing I'm battling is I haven't been in this space in over 2 weeks. Things are here, things are not here. So I don't know. I didn't do an inventory of what's going on. So if you're talking about the deflector dish, you'd want it this shape inside. That's my opinion. All right. Okay, now let's see what we got here. I really need to Google how to put the softbox in the, oh, come on, guy. Mornings with Seth was missed. Oh, is this morning for some of you guys? I guess so, right? Especially on the West Coast. Is there a way to make the R lens have the manual override the autofocus? In your settings for almost any camera, there should be a manual focus, autofocus setting where if you grab the manual focus ring, it takes away the autofocus. That should be in almost every camera, to be honest with you. Okay. Have you tried out the new Viltrox Lab lens? I have not. I don't have a relationship with them personally. They haven't sent me anything. I haven't gotten anything here through Adorama. Maybe we can fix that going forward, but I haven't even seen it in person. I have talked to Matt Irwin, who used it, and he's over the moon for this thing. So if that helps, Matt Irwin is a great channel if you're a Nikon guy. He's got a lot of cool videos there. Is there a purpose for black line softbox? So you're talking about the black, you're talking about like this, you mean like this part, if this was a softbox, this being black? I am not a fan. I don't think that they do anything, to be honest with you. I go on forever about this, but I think that's, look, if you're basically going to starve your light for power, and then at some point you're going to crank it till it finally puts out enough light that you're looking for. And at that point, every surface reflects light to some degree, even if it's like micro and you're not seeing it. So if you're just trying to get a black lined dish or softbox to make light come out from it, you're not really getting anything. Some people will tell you it cuts down on specular highlights. They're completely wrong, because as soon as you put a diffuser on there, well, guess what? This becomes your light source. And you know what else? This is a big white surface that's flying light. And then if you have, let's say, shiny skin or whatever, the diffusion can only do so much, and then it'll actually pick up just this as the reflection itself. Like, it's just like kind of like when you shoot like a glass bottle or something and you see the specular highlight, which will be like a catch light kind of, you're not going to get rid of that. You know, it's, if this becomes your light source. So I don't want to get into this big thing, because I know it was a whole lot of controversy about it. There are a bunch of videos out there using it, and I think it was proven that it doesn't do anything. It doesn't light evenly. It's just, I'm not a fan personally. Not for me. Okay. Just so you guys know, I was going to pull out a pretty wonky lens. Not wonky. It's actually really fun. It's just kind of a weird lens, and it is a Nikon lens, but it's kind of cool. And it's one of these ones from the F mount that I always really enjoyed. So if you guys want to talk about this lens, this mystery lens right here, I can even mount it to this camera and we can take a look at what it does. But you let me know if you guys want to get into that. I see you guys have a lot of questions today. Recommendations for used lens for ZF I shoot Canon. If you want a lens that you never have to take off of that camera, look at the 24 to 120 f4, and that is this lens right here. That is this lens right here. So this is a 24 to 120 f4 that focuses under a foot at 120. So it becomes almost like a pseudo macro lens. And almost every demo you see me do here, I'm using these. Oh, did I not clear this? Almost every demo you see me using this lens, because I don't know what we're going to get into, so it's super versatile. So I would just check out the 24 to 120 f4, brand new. It's about a grand-ish maybe. So you can find a lot of them, and get the Z mount version. Don't bother adapting an F mount version. Get the Z mount, okay? Starting to see a lot of videos on Viltrox lenses. Are they a new brand, or have they been around? They've been around for a long time. The thing is that they're one of the few brands that are placating to Z mount. So that's probably why you're seeing so much. Plus, they're putting out a lot often, but they've been around for quite a while. Absolutely. Still need a proper review of the 250 f4. Good luck with that, Marcus. I don't know what to tell you. I can't review everything, okay? Any benefit to having 1.2 aperture lens versus 1.8? It's a higher price point. Was just curious. So it's not just the 1.2 versus 1.8. It's the entire lens. So 1.8 lens it's kind of a nice aperture, so that you can make a lower cost lens that seems like it's very wide open and fast. 1.2, typically your brands are going to put everything they've got into their 1.2 lenses, meaning it won't focus breathe, edge to edge sharpness, true color rendition, no issues on that front. The way that it transitions from sharp to soft, the character and look, the feel of that lens. For example, I use the Nikon 85 1.2 a lot because I love the way that lens looks. If you hand me this is a 1.8 lens back here. This is a 35. Is this a 35? I think there's a 35 1.8. Now this lens is, I think, under $600 new. And it looks cool, right? But they made a 35mm 1.2, and there is a jump in a lot of things like the speed of the autofocus, the look of the lens, the focus breathing, just the way this lens looks and acts. If you don't know what you're going to be getting with it, it's not going to change your life. But there's a reason that the 1.2s exist, trust me. Okay. The 1.2s are just, they are throwing everything they got at those lenses usually. Is this lens 35mm 1.2? It is not the 35 1.2. I unfortunately was at a conference when that lens was being released and I was unable to do the video. I was offered the video. Unfortunately, I can only do so much when I'm at a conference. If any of you have ever seen me at a conference, you know how it's just nonstop for me. And I don't want to do a video where I'm just holding a piece of gear and talking about it. I want to shoot it so I can talk to you about application of it, who I think it's for, what it was like, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that'll do it. This lens, if you guys are ready to know what this lens is, I want you guys to type ready in the chat if you guys are ready to know what this lens is. I've been trying to set one of my function buttons on my Z50 to show me what the images look like when my flash is on, so I don't have to switch it off to see. Do you know where that setting is? I'm trying to set it. So you're trying to set a custom button to kill the strobe when your strobe is on. Is that what you're saying? So that when something is in your shoe, it basically shows you what the ambient is? Yeah, so that should be, I have it set on all my cameras. You'd think I'd know exactly what it is by now. When you go to controls, actually, you know what? I can show you the menu right here. You ready? I'm going to show you this right now. This is how cool this setup is. So we go to menu, we go to the pencil, we go to F, the controls. Is this not coming through? Oh, it doesn't show it. It doesn't show it, guys. I must have shut off the HDMI out on data. That's my fault. I figured I'd never need it, but here we are. Okay, so anyway, let me see if this works for you, okay? So you go to the pencil, you go to custom controls, and you go to function 1 or whatever it is, and you're looking for disable, enable flash. Hopefully that helps you out, and we'll move forward. Not coming through. What a shame. You know what? I probably turned off the HDMI data info. Let's, you know what? Really quickly, I want to see if I can solve this issue right now. We're going to change camera angles to camera 3. Hi, guys. I'm just going to see really quickly, because I'm a psychopath, if I can change this setting really quickly. Bingo. Go to HDMI. HDMI. Shooting output info on. Let's see if this did anything. Oh, I think, whoa, hello. I think I lost the screen from this, but let's see what happens here. Oh, so now you're seeing all my data. Look at that. Now I go to menu. Still nothing. Okay. So, all right. I'll have to look into that. Whoop. Well, that lens just hit the floor, so we're going to see how tough that lens is now. We're going to see how tough that lens is now. All right. I'm going to look into that later. If these are Z6 IIIs. On the Z6 II, I was able to just go into the menu and oh! Nope. I know why. Here we go. You ready? You're going to freak out. You're going to freak out. Here we go. I'm going to go into stills mode. Stills mode. Nothing, huh? Menu? No? No? Nothing? What is going on here? What is going on here? Oh well. I'll have to mess with it. Usually on Nikon, you can go into the menu and it goes live. In fact, some of you have probably seen me do this live, so I'm gonna have to check this later. All right. Okay. What are the benefits of enabled disable flash versus live view on and off, or even flash on and off? Because on the fly, I squeeze that button and it disables the flash, goes right into ambient exposure. So it's giving me exposure simulation on the fly. And then when I need, let's say I'm working in a dark environment, or I have my ambient set exposure so low it's hard for me to see anything. Well, why would I want to work in that environment and use a strobe when I can have basically optical simulation, which is what you see when you put a strobe on? That's why your exposure doesn't change when you put on a TTL flash or a TTL remote. It'll automatically go. In fact, why don't I do this in real time? I tell you what, let me grab a remote really quick. Let me see what I got. Canon, Fuji, Nikon. Okay. So let's say I'm going to turn my, oh, why do I have this plugged in? I'm going to turn my screen around, and you can see that we're seeing completely black, because at ISO 100 at f4 at 200 of a second, it's black, right? Okay, well, if my camera senses something that is a strobe that talks to it, you guys with me? Is this crazy? Am I losing my mind here? As soon as I put this in the shoe and I turn it on, you're gonna see that all of a sudden I have totally, this is not my exposure though, right? Boom, I take a picture, I take a look at it. Oh, it's black, because it's not really my exposure. This button I have mapped to kill the strobe. If I kill the strobe, it goes back to ambient exposure on the fly. Instead of me having to wait to shut this off, turn it back on, hopefully it holds my settings, blah, 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 whatever, okay? I can take it a step further and put on auto ISO. It stays at 100 for the strobe. I kill the strobe, I take a picture, and now it boosted my ISO up to 2500, and I have an image of what I just shot here, because on the fly, this is what my whole demo on the Nikon stage was about at WPPI, actually, which should be on Nikon's YouTube channel either now or soon. So if you guys want to stay up on that, you can find that. So I'm a big fan of the kill strobe button inside my grip. Huge, huge, huge. Because of you doing this stuff, why don't I just show you? I did the same thing in a lighting demo recently. There was a question, I was explaining it, and I said, screw it. Yeah, what's the point? If I'm here and we got stuff and we're trying to explain stuff about the things about the stuff that's here, why am I not just gonna show you? I do wonder what happened, why I can't send the menu out to HDMI like I used to. I think it's got this, I know it can do it. I just got to figure out how I had it set before. Okay, now, who wants to see this lens that hit the floor? This is how chaotic these things get. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a Nikon 8 to 15 millimeter zoom fisheye. What's cool about this lens is it's a circular fisheye at 8 millimeter, and as you zoom it out, it just becomes crazy wide angle. In fact, at fisheye, I have to take off the lens hood because it actually makes a weird crop. You guys want to put this on this camera, let me know. We can take a look at what it looks like. It's such a fun lens. And just so you know, this is the actual lens. This is the adapter. So this is such a fun lens. If you guys see it in the Adorama used department or whatever, I think it's a fun buy. I think if you're looking for something that's just weird and makes you shoot different, you can't go wrong with just having a fisheye somewhere just in case you need it. Especially if you're shooting something just weird like events, parties, skaters. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't have a career if the fisheye wasn't a lens choice for me in the BMX days. Although I did move over to a 14 millimeter 2.8 to get rid of the circle, because after a while, every shot looks the same if it's a circle, all right? So let's put this lens on, all right? Let's take a look. All right, so I'm gonna put this lens on right here. Turn off the camera, take this lens off, bada bing. I'm gonna cover this, bada boom. This is not proper lens protocol, but whatever. And bingo, bango, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the zoom fisheye, camera one. So you can actually see that it's like kind of cropped. If I take off this lens hood, right? Whoop, we got a circle. Look at this. Hey, look, I'm doing it for TikTok now. It's vertical, hard. Look at that. Nah. Take this off. We've got a circular fisheye here. And then 15 millimeters, it just becomes, whoop, at 15 millimeters, it just becomes wide. See? So now it's just like a wide angle lens instead of it being a circle because we zoomed into it, we cropped into it, right? Although this thing totally took a hit because it is acting weird. Maybe it just hasn't been used in a while. But isn't this cool? So let's say you're out there and you're shooting and you're like, oh man, all this architecture with this circular fisheye is so cool, right? And then you want to go, you know what? I'm sick of the circle. I'm sick of the cycles. Who remembers that commercial? George Costanza's mom was in that commercial. You'd have to be a 90s kid to remember that. Look at this. Bada bing, bada boom. And you've got everything in between. Right? Yeah, Jennifer, it's totally a Beastie Boys video. This is 100% Beastie Boys at this point. It's such a fun lens, and it's such a weird lens that it's one of those ones that just keep it. You never know. You could use it on a, it doesn't take up a lot of room. You never know, right? Although I do think there's some shmoo on the lens. There we go. There we go, guys. Just wanna, you got something on your face, kids. You got something on your face. There you go. Got it for you, okay? Pretty rad, right? Pretty crazy, right? And it's autofocusing. It's totally autofocusing. Your arm turns into classic RoboCop. Yeah. This is sick. You know, it's so much fun. And a fisheye is one of those lenses that you don't got to worry about where you're focusing too much. You don't got to worry about much because it's going to just suck in the entire world, right? And then if I want, I got this effect if I want it, right? It's super fun. I can't recommend weirdo lenses like this enough, right? I mean, look at this. Roar, I will take your fish. It's actually focusing pretty fast. Pretty cool, right, guys? And you'd be surprised at what you can find for older lenses that are on older mounts that you can adapt to newer mounts and get stuff like this. So just a very, very cool lens. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what. What? I don't know. I didn't know what I was going to do today for the stream, but I figured we haven't hung out in a minute. But look, you can even see how wide it is that you see that light above right there. That light above the projection screen, right? Look at that. And now you have, this is the lighting above the camera. This is behind the camera. My hand is physically behind the lens right now. Isn't that crazy? So think about what you could get with it with a circular fisheye like this. It's totally a Marilyn Manson video at this point. Or like one of Bush, maybe Bush did this. I don't know. This is definitely an early 2000s look. It was, you know, Fred Durst was all like this and stupidness with his dumb, horrible music. And then you got this going on. So yeah, this is a zoom fisheye. Now I need a fisheye now. Well, the thing that's cool about this is you're not stuck at fisheye. That's what's so cool about it. It's not that it is a fisheye. It's that while you're using it, you don't need to stay fisheyed. You can easily. Now it is going to change aperture. It is a 3.5 to, what do we got? It is a 3.5 to 4.5. So you're losing a little bit of light when you zoom in, but not that big, not that big of a deal. I feel like this lens just stopped all your questions. You can actually see my forehead, how it's on exposure pretty much here, but here I'm blown out. It's just a little bit, opens up a little bit. And I am probably, here, I am 8 feet away from this lens right now. I am 8 feet. I remember there used to be a brand, Lens Baby. Yeah, Lens Baby's still around, for sure. Absolutely. Lens Baby was big on making lenses that would, you could make malleable and change, and basically was doing, not tilt, it was kind of doing tilt shift basically that we did on the large format, sort of in a very on the fly, fun way, not very precision way, because you would be able to squeeze, well, let me zoom in. You'd be able to squeeze the lens wherever you wanted it to bend. That was their big thing. Then they started making all sorts of other lenses. I think they made a velvet lens. They made, the Omni system where you put like prisms in front of the lens, which was, you know, a thing. But, woo, so my hand this is my hand on the side of the lens, and you can totally see my fingers on the side of the lens. If I do this, this is the same. The fact that you can see these lights is insane because they are behind the camera. That's wild. You know what I mean? So if you ever just said, you know what, I'm creatively stuck, I'm not sure what I want to do today or whatever, go shoot street with a circular fisheye that zooms like this. You'll have a blast. Your brain will be decompressed, I promise. You'll start seeing things differently. It's a cool little like, oh, you know? Although, because I'm so close to the light, I'm losing, to the lens, I'm losing light. But, I mean, it's bananas, guys. Like, argh! This thing is just like, hey, Vern, what's going on, man? You know? And I'm just using my cell phone to light me up at this point. Ooh. Kind of crazy, right? Super fun. You know what this lens is really fun with is pets and animals. If you guys ever have like an erratic dog running around or they sniff the lens, super fun when that happens. Very attractive look. Thank you so much. My whole goal with this, Deborah, is to be attractive at all times. That's the whole thing. I look like a mess all the time anyway, you know? Woo! But video, come on, video, you could totally do a lot with this lens. Forget it. All the trippy stuff you can do. It's done. It's one of those things that you're not going to do in post, right? You get that look, you get that feel. You know, you're shooting music videos, you're shooting animals, you're shooting little kids. Little kids can have a ball with this type of look. Shooting really dynamic events. Like, did you guys ever see that video I did where I shot a no-ring death match with my DJI Osmo Pocket 3? If I was doing it on fisheye, it probably would have been nuts with like barbed wire bats like right in the lens, like, rah! There's a question above. Ryan, did I miss a question? I'm sorry, guys. I'm like having like way too much fun with this. I don't see the question. Can someone just copy and paste it really quick? All the trippy stuff. I mean, I'm just losing my mind. Like, oh. Got to get a cool thumbnail, right? So it's like, I don't see any questions, guys. I'm sorry. I must have missed one. Don't forget to like on this, guys. I really, really hope we can get this to a place where we have just massive conversations in here, you know? Thanks. The deathmatch video didn't do too well, and I get it. People are not watching my channel for death matches. I get it. I totally get it. But the new Fear City guys, shout out to them. Why don't I see... Heidi, I'm not seeing this question. Am I missing it somewhere? Any tips for lighting bodybuilders and really making the muscles pop? Yeah. So you have a bunch of options when it comes to lighting like a more defined physique. I mean, obviously, if you light so that... I feel like I should change this lens if I'm going to start answering questions. Do you guys want to keep vote if you want to keep this lens or change this lens? Write keep or write change in the chat if you guys want me to keep or change. So you can light so that you are cascading shadows in whatever direction to then make it more prominent, right? A lot of that Scorsese Mafia lighting will do that. Just like it does the facial features, it'll do the muscles. Now, what I like to do is once I get those shadows casted, I like to pump in some rim lights that'll keep the shadow, but then shape out the muscle form still. So that's why you see a lot of like hard rims all over the place when you see a lot of bodybuilding. I think Joe McNally has some amazing bodybuilder stuff. Will Cadena shoots a lot of bodybuilding. He's amazing. Will Cadena, C-A-D-E-N-A. Everybody wants you to keep it. Okay, so I'll keep the lens. You have a lot of options with lighting a form. What I would probably recommend you do is light the face separately from the body. So you can keep the face looking more cleaned up and refined and make them look great. Or you can completely take the face out of the equation and make it just about their form. Or you can light them just in one shot. The problem is that if you're going to make the body look very textured and try to make all that form happen, same thing's going to happen to the face, and they might not like the way their face looks. So you've got options there. I just recommend always lighting the face separately from the body when it comes to showing off form like that. You could also light them as a silhouette and then put in pockets of light on the areas of them that you want. So for example, like a white background, they're silhouetted, and then you bring in lights from the sides to really like shape them out. You have so many options. It's crazy. You're gonna have to decide what kind of style you're looking for and what they want out of the shots too, you know? And Heidi's saying use water on athletes. Glycerin baby oil works too, but no need to make that much of a mess. Back inside lighting is best, at least it works for me. Yeah, so the only thing I'd say about the oil or water or whatever is you can always apply more. So lighter is always best because you can build on it as you go forward, and different skin tones are going to look completely different with different specular highlights, which is what you get from things like oils and waters and stuff like that. I actually take water and I cut it by like 1/4 to 1/2, like 50-50, water to glycerin sometimes just to make it really kick or beat up a certain way. So there's that. This lens it's really weird working with this lens because you think your brain is telling you you're so far away, but you're not. And this is just 15 millimeters, right? This is 8 millimeters, guys. 8 millimeters. Look at this. Coming to the vortex. Look at the vortex of hands and fingers. Welcome. Welcome. Come, children. Come. Actually, let's see what it does. It flare pretty good? Let's see what happens when we put try to get this thing to flare a little bit. And not so much. Not so much. Nah. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit there. We got it like right about here. Little flare reaction, a little J.J. Abrams anamorphic-y. No, not even close to anamorphic. But you know what I'm saying. Was that helpful for you guys? I hope it was helpful. I feel like this is like just gonna cause me to do this the whole time. It's really fun to stand like next to, and like even if I'm standing up straight, it's still doing this whole like bendy. Seth, loving my A10 A2 combo for lighting. I agree with you. The camera brand speed lights may fade away, sticking to lighting only brand. Yeah, I do believe in speed lights going to the lighting brands over the camera brands, because the camera brands, let them focus in on all the stuff we want for our cameras, right? We want more lenses, more body types, you know, resolutions, you know, sensor styles, things like that, price points, right? You know, so yeah, I'm a big fan of the lighting brands making the lights, you know, and working closely with the cameras. Do you know how old this lens is? No, actually I don't. Maybe we can do a quick shmoo search. Let's do a quick Google search and see what's going on here. This is a Nikon 8 to 15 millimeter zoom fisheye release date. Lens release date. This lens came out, get out of here, 2017. That's not even that old. What, are you kidding me? What, are you kidding me? That's not that old. It's not even 10 years, man. So it probably does pretty well working with mirrorless cameras. 2017, come on. You kids have it too easy, you know that? You kids have it too easy. You get all this cool stuff that works with all the cool stuff, that makes more cool stuff so you can do cool stuff. Get out of here. You guys got it too easy. Too easy, I say. Took Bergman's workshop. First of all, his name's David. Would you want to be called by your last name all the time? You took David Bergman's workshop last Friday in Nashville. Talked about you. So thankful for all the sharing and stuff. So grateful. David's awesome. I love the guy. Definitely has so many chops in this industry. We're lucky to have him on Adorama TV, especially for the amount of years that we've had him. Endless, that guy. And I'm really glad I can call him a friend and a colleague and a peer. So thank you so much. And thank you for being part of this channel and with us. You know what I mean? Like, look, there's no point in them being a retailer if you guys don't know how to use or get out things out of what you're buying, right? So I just want to make sure before you guys start buying stuff, we fill your heads properly to work your hands properly, because you might be able to pull off whatever you're trying to do with what you already have. And you guys sticking around for more years is more important than some sale here. And stand by that. I stand by that. They've never said like, oh, why aren't you guys selling more stuff? Like, no, we just build a community, and hopefully when you guys decide it's time for you to invest into some equipment, you consider Adorama first. And I think that's totally fair. Totally fair. No, don't worry about it, Heidi. You're fine. You're fine. It is so hard to finding YouTube reviews for DSLR glass. Well, I guess because, you know, YouTube's what, 15, 16 years old, maybe? So, the glass has been around a lot longer, which means it wasn't new releases most of the time when those videos were being built on those channels, right? It doesn't date back to the D3. No, it's definitely newer than that. But that said, if you checked out Adorama's used department, do they even have one? They might even have one. Let me see. I could be wrong. Nikon 8 to 15. Why do I get all the pop-ups? Nikon 8 to 15 millimeter. Blah, 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 fisheye. Let's see what comes up. Just the lens hood. Okay, so there's none in the used department here, but you can keep an eye out for it for sure. Yeah. I'm gonna say it's not really not that expensive. Any chance of you and Joe McNally doing some workshop tours in Canada? Probably not in Canada. We are looking at London this fall again. Joe likes to go to London in the fall, so he's just like, hey kid, get in my time machine, let's go, you know. He Doc Browns me. He's like, yeah, let's go. I don't know. I got to tell you, I've been looking to go into, a long time ago, I was supposed to do a huge job in Vancouver, and it ended up not coming together. They went with someone local after a while. But I've always thought about going like, what could I make happen over in Canada? So I wouldn't say no to that, but there's no plans, at least not for 2025. I can say that. All right. Maybe knock on Joe McNally's comment section and poke at him. Maybe he'll figure something out in Canada, and I'll come hang out with you guys. Also, what part of Canada? Because Toronto's a lot easier than some other places. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from New York, right? I know. The search engine is a little rough. I know. YouTube's 20? Is YouTube 20? I thought, well, I remember our channel hit 15, I want to say a year or two ago, so I guess that's about right. Adorama got on there probably 3 years deep into YouTube. So we're at 1.3 million. And I would love to see 1.5 million happen, that's for sure. I'd love this channel to get going. We're only at 10K on this channel, but I get it. Live format isn't for everybody. Long form isn't for everybody. I get that also. You don't want to come to Calgary? I'll only come to Calgary if Bret Hart is there when I get off the plane, all right? That's it. That's the only way I'm going. Bret Hart or nothing. I don't want to hear it, all right? Any other questions, you guys? I feel like I should take this lens off because it's like really bananas. But you let me know if you guys want me to keep it on here, because it is kind of funny. I mean, it is like, whoa, it's like going through a warp. Got to get some light on me because let's do the warp. Actually, I think it's got to be. There we go, the parallax. I gotta get my movement in. Hold on. I keep touching the manual focus ring like a schmuck. Wait, so I've gotta go in when it's zooming. I gotta go out when it's zooming out. Oh, I'm having way too much weirdo fun here, guys. Definitely Toronto. Toronto will be a lot easier, that's for sure. That's for sure. In fact, I was thinking maybe hitting up Taylor Jackson up there. He's always like, we should do some stuff with capybaras or whatever. I'm like, yeah. I think the other lit you better. Well, the reason this one doesn't look lit is because I'm physically under the lights to be in frame. Guys, I'm this is how far away from lens I am. My hand. That's it. That's it. That's how far away from this lens I am. He's a really nice guy. My buddy Jesse is good friends with Brett. Brett seems, I mean, everybody in Canada is nice. Are you kidding me? Actually, I could probably go see my friend Haley up there. She's cool. Huge nerd. All right, let me change this back. We'll go to camera 3, right? We're on camera 3. Yep, what's up? All right, let's change this back. Whip, 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 whip. Come on. Yep, yep. Boom, boom, boom. All right, and we're back. And we're back. So that's the lens you guys just saw me on. And just give you an idea of how much the zoom is, like that's it. That's all it's zooming. That's the little bit. Let me put this back on. All right. What's up from Germany? I might know her. I know a few Haleys. There's probably a bunch of Haleys up there. Capybaras are always plus, very positive. We like we like red pandas, we like capybaras, we like beavers, otters, you know. When is Adorama gonna build an app so I can order from my phone? You know, that's funny you should say that. I don't know if Fernando's in this chat, but you should screenshot that. But we've been trying to make a case for a long time that they need to put together an app. I think honestly, I think just resources are strapped here. We're doing the best we can. I mean, you're looking at channels that are put together by like 3 guys, man. So I think building an app is just a lot of resources that aren't there right now, at least. But I would love for there to be an app. Trust me, I absolutely would. But for now, what you can do is save the web page to your phone's home screen, and it'll be like an icon that's basically a shortcut to the website, and then you just order through the website straight up. But I would absolutely love an app. I hear you. This might be a silly beginner question, but could you, what? Oh, help with a good strong backdrop stand, 10 to 15 feet long. So when you say strong background stand, do you mean the crossbar itself, or do you mean the stands you're using aren't holding it? Because in reality, what you could do is run 2 C-stands and the arms out, and you could even run that if you wanted to. There are crossbar systems. You can do, I know Westcott makes a crossbar system, and Frodo makes a crossbar system. Any grip company has some sort of crossbar system. You also could just use a straight up, if you wanted to, pipe. Just straight up pipe, and they get clamps that go into your stands. So pipe clamps that go into a C-stand grip head or something like that. You have a lot of options. I would check out Matthews, I would check out Avenger, and I would check out Kupo. Those are the 3 brands. Everything in this event space is Avenger, which is Manfrotto. And you can just use a straight up pipe to, do I have one? I might have one, hang on. Let me see if I have one. I might have a pipe clamp, which would be awesome if I did. Oh my gosh. I don't have a pipe clamp. Okay. What a pipe clamp would be is basically, it looks just like a chain link fence thing but it opens up like a Pac-Man, goes over it, you tighten it down, and then there's a pin that goes right into a stand. So how to hook the middle. You shouldn't have to hook the middle. Your other thing is auto poles. Do I have auto poles here? Of course I took them home. Every time I need them. Auto poles are, here, I'll show you. Auto poles. You can get auto poles. Actually, I know what I'm gonna do even better than that. You ready for this? This is how much I love you, Heidi. You ready for this? I'm gonna give you a video right now that's gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. Seth Miranda auto pole. Let's see if it goes to it. Of course it doesn't. Why would it, right? Tight grip. Why does it? Okay, I'm gonna have to change my search engine then, because auto poles. Hey, there it is. Okay, cool. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to this video and you're going to use auto poles. All right. Control C, gonna put you in Control V, bada bing. Check that video out. It should set you straight on auto poles, which are probably one of the best systems you can probably get for a backdrop. The only thing you're going to need is some sort of dowel or pipe, and you can just get that from a hardware store if you wanted to. So get whatever length you need and just run it onto J-hooks. J-hooks, do I have J-hooks? Do I have super clamps? How about that? Do I have super clamps and J-hooks? Are we doing? You know what it is, guys? I cleared out a lot of stuff because Adorama closed for the week, and then we, come on, tell me there's a super clamp in here somewhere. Nope, no super clamp. Okay. Oh, here's a J-hook though. Perfect. Okay, so a super clamp can receive this, which is a J-hook. You put it into your super clamp goes onto the pole, and then you drop down whatever crossbar you want. Done. Boom. It's difficult to span 20 feet without a large sag in the middle. Not if your crossbar is metal, not if your crossbar is a wooden dowel, or you can get retractable crossbars that are however long, 15 feet, whatever. 20 feet is you're probably only going to be running cloth anyway on 20 feet. You're not going to be running a roll of paper 20 feet. You're going to probably be running cloth. Am I right? Thanks, Photosapien. I appreciate it. Does that make sense to you? So, do I have a super clamp that's not being used somewhere? Somewhere on this giant thing? Every super clamp on here has something in it. So, oh, here's a super clamp. Yay! Okay. Ugh. So, auto pole goes between your floor and your ceiling, and you press it. Hopefully you have solid ceilings. Do not put, yeah, it has to be cloth. Do not put an auto pole on drop ceiling. Any type of ceiling or floor that has any give that is not solid, do not use an auto pole. If you are using it on a ceiling that's solid, a floor that's solid, you make that auto pole, it gives you basically a straight up and down pole. Then you put this super clamp onto said pole, and then right here is a receiver for some brands call them J hooks, some call them U hooks. You put it right in there. You tighten it down. Let me try doing this with both my hands. You tighten it down, and then now what you've got here is a clamp that goes onto a vertical pole that gives you a U hook to drop a bar on. 2 of those, and you're good. And then you can get yourself a retractable bar. You can get yourself just a straight up metal pipe from a hardware store. In fact, you put this on here. Here, say this is your auto pole. Put this on here, tighten it. You've got yourself a straight up hook that you put your crossbar on, run it to the other one. 2 of these, 2 auto poles, and or either a retractable crossbar from Manfrotto, Avenger, or Westcott, or somebody like that. And then you, honestly, in my studio, we use just straight up wooden dowels from a hardware store that are like 10, 12 feet long, or metal pipe. And just know that the metal pipe, if it's thin, like if you're using like really thin conduit pipe, yeah, there might be a chance it could sag. But if you're using something with some to it, you should be okay. All right, so super clamps, U-hooks, auto poles, can't lose. Check out that video with link that I just put in the chat. You should be okay. And there should be links to all the gear in that video. So you should be fine. But yeah. Ugh. Yeah, 20 feet of cloth is a lot. I've even seen people just staple gun cloth right to the wall and then drape it however they want, because it gets so unruly, especially if you're trying to hang it higher and not let the floor take a lot of the weight. That could be another problem you're going to run into as well with cloth backdrops. So just be aware of that. But cloth can be a real pain. It can get real heavy pretty quick. But 20 feet of cloth is a lot of cloth, dude. That is a lot of cloth. All right, where are we at? We're at 1 o'clock. We've been doing this for an hour, guys. So let me know, last call on questions. Let me know. I love how Ed Mulholland has texted me that he's doing the cover art for Fatal Fury right now and is driving. I hate him. I hate you, Ed Mulholland, if you're watching this. Still, cool job. I'd want it still. If you don't know who Ed Mulholland is, we did a Coffee with Creators with him on the main channel. The best boxing photographer alive. I'm just going to say that. I mean, combat sports, anything with a ring, Ed Mulholland is amazing. Amazing. No, I totally get it, Heidi. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. What restaurant in St. Louis did you go to where they put the sticker up for you? It was a barbecue spot, and I can't remember the name of it, to be honest with you. I feel like I should remember that. That was very cool. I just saw they had all these stickers up like, hey, you guys want a holographic heart? And they were like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. St. Louis was very welcoming this time around. And I got to tell you, if you're from Shutterfest and you just discovered me in this channel, welcome. And thank you so much for all the crazy feedback. It's been like a little overwhelming. I'm like shocked at how well received my classes were, especially when I walked off those classes feeling that they could have been better, you know, but it is what it is. You always think you can do better, right? Always. All right, guys, last call for questions. Don't forget, there's 9 other streams like this on this channel, and they're all got some low view numbers. So it'd be cool if you guys take a look back. If you're new here, don't forget, when I'm available on Mondays, noon, I'm here. Wednesdays, 11 a.m. Eastern on the main channel, Coffee with Creators. We're up to episode 51. Last episode was Jerry Guionis, and he was awesome. So 50 other amazing people in this industry you can hear from, insights, all that stuff. I got some really cool guests lining up. I'm back. One I might fan over. I'm just saying, big fan of this guy. Hopefully I can lock in a date with him here and we can move forward, but this is gonna be sick. Tomorrow, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, right here, this channel, Tony Gale is gonna be in the store, live demo on Portraits of Speedlights. Come hang out. If you're in New York, 42 West 18th Street, 5 o'clock, come grab a seat, or this same chat, just come right back to Adorama Events. He'll be here for you. And then Thursday, me and Dan will be live here again on the main channel. I don't know what we're shooting. I don't know what Dan has prepared. I have no idea what he's doing, but we're going live. It's Dan. We always go and get into some sort of trouble for you guys. Seth, Shutterfest seems like a great time for hands-on shooting. Is it more hands-on than the other photo conferences? Shutterfest is a different format entirely. I'd say it's not as industry heavy as other shows you've probably seen me at. It is more, hey, we're in a cool hotel. I can grab a model with a couple of other photographers and go find a cool spot, set up some lights and shoot. It's a little more guerrilla. It's a little more on the fly. It's a little less industry though. Like there's way less brands. There's a lot of the speakers were attendees rather than, you know, being legacy speakers and stuff like that. So it's a different vibe, different style. And some people really gravitate to that. I think if there was a middle ground between like all the craziness of Shutterfest and all the industry of the other shows, and they could cross over a little bit, we'd be in a really good place. But Shutterfest is more of a, I mean, literally the marketing says learn, shoot, party. So like it's definitely got more of a party type atmosphere. And then that might fit your vibe a little more. So you can check that out. I think they're doing early access tickets right now for next year. It has its moments for sure. It's definitely, it's got its own community. I'll say that. Kathy Brown in the chat definitely came from there. That's for sure. That is for sure. Yeah, it feels a little more community than industry, sure, but it's its own community. Like I've mentioned people that should be known by everybody, community or industry, and at Shutterfest they were like, who? So a little more of community of who's in front of them rather than community of the industry, if that makes sense. But you might be into that vibe. It's definitely its own thing. When you come over to London, will you be visiting Gavin Hoey again? I don't know. I don't even know for sure if I'll be in London, but if I am, it'll be November, December. Imaging USA is a great trade show. From a speaker standpoint, it's very supportive. I mean, I've had the largest classes I've ever had at Imaging. I'm talking like 600 to 800 seats, and people at Imaging are part of Professional Photographers of America. And that is an organization that you pay into yearly, and they will make sure you have $30,000 of gear insurance, or you can go to them for your legal documents. You can go to them for business classes. They are fighting for our copyright in Congress against AI and things like that. So it's a totally different avenue and path of this world of ours, okay? I just think that I've seen and been a part of their speaker selection, and it is pretty rigorous, and they do care immensely. And it's just a whole nother vibe. I think right now they're trying to untuck the shirt a little bit. Me, Daniel Norton, Ab Cisse, Vanessa Joy, trying to think who else, all have videos on their channel, which is, I'll give you that channel just so you guys have it. Our PPA. You guys can go to this channel and find videos from all of us there as well. So we are, giving you everything we got. So you guys should, if you check out that channel and you like the host of those videos, those are the speakers. That's the vibe. So if you think you're getting a lot out of those hosts, that's who you're going to see in person. All right. Cool. But I think those are the three shows are Imaging USA, WPPI, which my last WPPI that I just went to in Vegas in March, was it March? March was awesome. I mean, probably one of the best for me personally shows. And you probably saw, if you watch my social, I was like stage after stage after stage. It was just like grueling, but crazy. And then there's Shutterfest, which I think this is probably where I'm going to cap out my Shutterfest career. I did a few years there. I got to stop traveling so much. I got to stay a little more focused. So I'm going to cut out a few things for next year. Physically, it's killing me. And it's just, I feel like half my year blink and I'm gone, PPA also offers data recovery through On Track with their insurance. Yeah, I mean, they just take care of you. You're just well supported. So yeah, Jennifer, the PPA videos are very informative, and they're trying to build that channel. So maybe stay up on their channel as well. Different type of content. We do, I don't know, Adorama is its own brand. I mean, we kill ourselves for our channel. So I feel like you should just gain as many perspectives as you can, Yeah, all these shows are like back to back to back. And as someone that has to be on those stages lugging, I have 150 pounds of gear with me at these shows. I am talking for like 8 hours. It'll, you come home from those shows and you're feeling it. Like right now, my body, like I have, my legs are killing me. I do like 30 miles of walk in a show. It's just like, plus the gear, plus the talking. People like, hey, you eat pizza like crazy. How are you not 1,000 pounds? Because I'm just burning it off as I go. Believe me, trust me. All right, last call, guys. Last call. I hope I see you in this chat tomorrow at 5 for Tony Gale's class. Solid educator. He's a good guy, and you know, he's a Sony ambassador. So if you're a Sony shooter, maybe you can even answer some stuff like that. No problem, Craig. Call for the Creators is incredible. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. I hope that show grows a little bit more than it has. I mean, everything just seems like it's staying at this like, and I'm hoping that we can just pop off, right? Tyler, better late than never, right? Thanks, Tony. I appreciate that. WPPI was wild, and that was definitely a tough. My masterclass in that show was tough. The lighting summit before WPI, the one for the pro photo stage, was I couldn't have asked for a better crowd on that one. Very attentive, sitting there with notebooks. It was just nuts. It was really weird. But thanks, man. It was a tough one. I'm glad I came out of that one. All right. I'm going to call it here, guys. Last call. Hopefully I will see you in this chat tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern for Tony. I'll see you at Coffee with Creators Wednesday, 11 a.m. this week. That's coming back. I know I've been out of town. It's, you know, we got to get going. And Thursday, Daniel Norton, my man, coming through. He's doing it. He's dusting himself off, and he's going to come in here. Okay. Hopefully I'm not speaking out of turn. Hopefully I'm right about this. Let me just triple check. Adorama Live. We're almost at 1.4 million. All right. We're doing this. Oh no, wait a second. I lied. Dan is live on the 15th. I don't know. In typical Dan fashion, he's making things difficult for me. So Daniel's live on the 15th. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. All right. Don't forget to like. If you're new here, subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notified when we're live. You can jump on, join us. You know, that's the whole point of this channel is live. There's compilation videos on here of Lindsay Adler and Joe McNally, and we're going to be adding more soon. But there are a year of live streams on here for myself, Absisse, Chris Knight, Dushawn. You know, there's so many people that have already come through here to do classes. Make sure you look back on this channel and watch something, throw it on the background. Just enjoy yourself. It's like, you know, hour-long demo. Hang out. Capiche? Anything go happen. Anything. Anything can happen when you're live. Trust me. All right. Be good to each other. I will see you wherever. You can follow me here. Oh, no. You can follow me here? Yeah. You can follow me here. Oh, my God. I have too many things. All right. You can follow me here. Don't forget to hit the events here. If you're going to come to New York, come to 42 West 18th Street. Check this event schedule. There'll be something going on probably. And I will see you guys. Oh, check out my Z5 II video. Nikon Z5 II video. Go check that out. Pretty cool lighting setup, I think. Anyway, be good to each other. I will see you in the next one. Or I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. All right? Later, guys. Peace.